Sonic the Hedgehog. What can really be said about this movie? Like, before the movie was even, actually put out into theaters, we all kind of knew it was going to be a shit show. I mean, hell, we had the trailers all the way in the beginning showing just a very ugly creature. It truly was something to just be in awe of. Okay, so this movie is really bizarre, but bear with me. We're gonna try to go scene by scene, or at least part of the movie I care about to other part of the movie I care about, and kind of break down the whole movie as a whole, and to see whether or not it was a good movie. Like, most people will immediately go to it and say, oh, it's a shitty movie, oh, it's a cash grab. Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I'm never gonna deny you on that. But is there a little charm in this movie? I mean, it's about a little blue hedgehog who can run really fast, so it can't all be terrible, right? So, in the beginning of the movie, we have Sonic. It does one of those. It kind of does one of those really dumb kid things, where they freeze frame on an action scene in the movie. Now, watching a podcast about this movie, it was really funny because someone mentioned that usually when there's like a freeze frame moment in a movie, it's at the point of like a decision that needs to be made, like something of the sort of, oh, if I have to do either A or B, but I have to make the choice, and you'll figure out throughout the movie up to that point in the freeze frame which decision I make is based off the, adventure I took. But this movie kind of doesn't do that. It just straight up says, freeze frame, let's talk about everything from the beginning. And okay, fine, start us off early in the beginning with a big action scene, get us really railed in and be like, wow, okay, the effects are really pretty. Oh man, Sonic, he looks really good. But then immediately, literally, stop everything in the movie and go, hold up, let's explain how we got here. So after that whole shindig at the beginning, we go all the way back to the beginning of the movie. Wow, really? We go all the way back to the beginning of this whole story, where we get to see Sonic being a little cute little shit, and he's adorable, but you see him running through essentially Green Hill Zone. But they don't call it that, he just lives in an alternate dimension. Right off the bat, you can definitely tell that the writing in this movie is a little, garbage. And then he comes to his mentor, Nico. Okay, so this is definitely a point in the movie where I said to myself, what the hell? Who's this? I'm not a huge Sonic extraordinaire or lore expert, but I'm like, who the fuck is this owl? Who are you? And all Sonic says is, hey, this is the owl person. She's like Obi-Wan. And then we just keep going. I'm like, oh, there's nothing else to add to that? You're just going to say, oh, she's like Obi-Wan. Cool, okay, keep moving. And then plot progresses on by Sonic going and being like, hey, I got you this thing. And the owl's like, yo, no, dude, you shouldn't have done that. I don't want people to see you. He's like, don't worry, I'm super fast. No one's going to see me. And then they get attacked by echidnas. The things that... I got 4 penises. The race that Knuckles is, yeah, so immediately you're kind of seeing all this stuff, and you're seeing that, oh, there's this other race that is after Sonic's power. So Sonic's being attacked, and the owl dude's like, or chick is like, oh, hold on, Sonic, we're gonna run away, and starts running away, but then turns to Sonic and say, you're not gonna be safe here on this world, here, and gives Sonic a bag of rings. So then at that moment I was thinking, oh, this is cool. They're showing that the rings that you collect in all the video games have a really cool purpose. Okay, cool, awesome. Owl gives him a bag of rings, throws a ring and says, think of where you want to go, and then I'm sorry, I've only seen the movie once, but I believe the owl says all you have to do is think of the place you want to go, and then throw the ring, and the ring creates a portal to that location. So you see Sonic go through there, and then he escapes safely and whatnot. It comes 10 years later, and we get to see some of the cool shots from the trailers where he's running around, kind of dicking around, just being an overall dude. He's just kind of broing around. I don't fault the movie for having Sonic's kind of be, just vibing. It's weird to say that, but Sonic's just kind of vibing out here, just trying to live, be having a normal life, but he kind of realizes he's alone. He can't talk to any of these people, because if he does, there's a chance that they'll want to catch him and experiment on him and use his power. So this entire time, he's kind of just been alone, and he lives in Green Hills. The sigh is because okay, that's kind of cute that they're using the name Green Hills, but really, don't push your luck too much. That's kind of the only clever part of this whole movie. So Sonic gets sad and lonely because no one's around him, but he realizes he's really alone. The way he does it is, so the way he kind of comes to this realization is he's playing baseball in the middle of the night where no one else is there, and man, and this is definitely one of the moments in the movie where Sonic puts on the best split performance I think I've ever seen, putting James McAvoy run for his money, quite literally. And it was funny, it was cute, it wasn't a bad scene, it was kind of a moment to like show Sonic as his own, like give him a character moment. Cute, okay, I like it, it's nice. He realizes he's really alone and starts running around the baseball diamond over and over again, generating a lot of energy and then just like shooting it out. Okay, so let's take a quick second to realize, what the fuck are you talking about? So then we introduce Dr. Robotnik, a stupidly genius madman who just acts really weird and awkward around other people, but is kind of too smart for his own good, to the point where he can't even realize when some dude can just come up and punch him. He just thinks he just believes he's the smartest man in the room, so why even want to attempt to test them? Because he can take them out with brains instead of bronze, but then, bronze can still come over and punch him in the face. We get to see the characteristics of Eggman portrayed through Jim Carrey, which genuinely was the best part of the entire film for me. So remember when I said earlier that the writing in the movie kind of sucks, and it definitely shows in this moment here. We see that Jim Carrey's ability to ad-lib and make funny conversations while also pulling off these very wacky and crazy characters, it contrasts so sharply to just the writing in the movie, because there's so many different parts of the movie where it's just like, I mean, that was funny, that was cool, but it was kind of lame. Like, okay, so go back for a hot second. We learn about, oh man, I'm so sorry, I forgot about the other main characters. Sonic's not the only main character in this movie. Go. So we got Tom, or Tim, or John Marston, I believe that's the actor's name. He's a cop in Green Hills, and I believe this is like his hometown, so all his family has always worked as a cop. He kind of alludes to that at one point, and they really try, and I mean really try, to kind of give him a motivation for the movie so he does what he does later on in the movie, but it's kind of lame and really just kind of thrown at you. So for instance, he gets an acceptance letter to work in the city of San Francisco as a police officer because, according to him, he doesn't want to just be doing the small little day-to-day babysittings that he does for Green Hills. Green Hills is a very small town in Montana, so people kind of just need like one or two things done, or just doing very small, minute things, and he has bigger ambitions for his life. Totally fine, completely understand. His wife is 100% supportive, gives her own reasons, and builds that their relationship is really important, and really, I don't fault them for that. They at least wrote, these two characters to work well together when the situation is needed. But it's just lame and really weak. Like, why San Francisco? I guess because it's the closest big city? Yeah, that makes sense. But it just kind of feels like everything altogether just kind of was thrown around together. So as they're talking about, oh yes, I can't wait to move to San Francisco and be able to actually be a real cop. And according to Tim, oh, I really forgot his name. According to Cop Guy, he's saying, well, I want to be able to save someone's life. I don't want to just be able to do the small, minute stuff around town. Flash forward to when Dr. Eggman finds a footprint of Sonic because of his drones. So back to Sonic. So Sonic finds out that, oh no, people are after me now because I gave myself away. Good job. So now he has to run off. And as he's running off, he grabs all his like bag of rings, said, okay, well, time to go. And he is about to throw his ring, but he's like, oh no, they're here. So then he runs off to save his skin, and he goes to Tom's house. Now, his wife left the day before. Oh man, really trying to recount this movie is really aggravating. I just saw it yesterday, so I'm really trying hard to remember this movie. Tom's wife, like, leaves to go to San Francisco to look for apartments. That's right, because knowing that they're going to be believing that they're going to move to San Francisco, they're telling like, oh well, yeah, I'm already looking up bookings on Zillow.com. So now with all this, Tom is back at his place, and he's, it's the next day right after the power went out, and everything's just kind of going a little bit crazy. But then Sonic finds shelter in his like garage, and Tom's like, it's those raccoons again, because there's also raccoons and blah 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 earlier. And so then he gets a tranquilizer gun that his wife has, because his wife is a veterinarian, which is again very quickly said, so there are certain parts where it's like, what? Also, why the hell does she have whatever? And so then that explains the point where he shoots Sonic in the leg and Sonic goes down. So that we see in the trailer. Then he's like, okay, Sonic's like, okay, time to throw this ring and go to a new place. And he already knows the place he has to go because he's run out of other worlds to go in. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. Earlier in the film, there's a part where he looks at all the different worlds he's gone to, and there's only one world left that people haven't found him in. So he's like, well, gotta go there last. And so he and then so he is about to go. John Marston kicks down the door and he's like, oh, freeze. And you see they both scream at each other. And right before, this is what I mean when the movie's writing is really annoying and bad. Tom, the cop guy, is wearing a San Francisco t-shirt. Sonic sees San Francisco, and he drops the ring to create a portal. He sees San Francisco and thinks about it as he's about to pass out for the tranquilizer, drops the ring, the portal opens to the highest peak in San Francisco. Now, he's never been there, and again, this is just very loosely veiled things that they put in the movie. He drops the ring opens to San Francisco, and Sonic drops the bag of other rings he has, and it lands on the highest building in San Francisco. And then the portal closes. Tom is like, holy shit, what am I seeing here? And that's the plot of the movie, that Tom has to take Sonic from Green Hills, Montana to San Francisco, California to retrieve his bag of rings so he can go to another planet, while they're also being hunted by Eggman. Holy shit! You gotta be kidding me. This is the movie this is the Sonic movie they wanted to make. This is the Sonic movie they wanted to make. They wanted to make a really stupid movie with a stupid idea, with the dumbest of situations that happen, to then have this. It's like, it's genuinely crazy that that's what the movie is. That is that. And then the rest of the movie is them running away from Dr. Eggman, or Dr. Robotnik, Jim Carrey's character. If I haven't stressed that enough, I love his character to death, and it can be fun. Oh wait, hang on, I forgot. Also, then the cop guy's motivation for the movie is then tested, because Sonic is like, oh no, they're here to find me. Please, I need your help. It's life or death. And then previously we heard that he wants to help someone in the life or death situation. Stupid writing is stupid. Oh god. But then the scene is saved because Jim Carrey comes into the film and says, hey, listen, I'm going to do some wacky little things. Also, I'm going to act like a complete and utter psychopath and shoot you right on sight if you don't tell me where this blue hedgehog is. He doesn't know it's Sonic, though, but when he sees him, he's, lost his mind, so super crazy. It's So after escaping the clutches of Dr. Robotnik, after he went to Copman's house, he ran off in his truck, and then they're off to figure out where the hell to go. He does try to kick Sonic out and say, hey, listen, I don't want to do this. I'm about to do something big in my life. I don't need you coming around and screwing this up. Also, I don't want to be a terrorist. So Sonic's like, okay, well, I guess fine. It's really sad. I've kind of been watching you guys for a really long time, and I kind of consider you family, but okay, whatever, bye. And he runs off. And he comes back soaking wet, seaweed and fish on him, and he's like, oh, I just figured out, I don't know where San Francisco is. He's like, okay. And it's like, also, it's your fault I'm in this situation, so you have to help me. And that's all the steps that the movie takes to say, oh, this is why Sonic is sitting in a car being driven to San Francisco. He gets in the car and they start driving off. When they drive off, they keep driving until they get to a gas station, which is... Then he gets to like a little sidebar gas station place. He goes to the gas station, go get some food. Sonic's like, holy shit, all these other people. Sonic sees the bar and he's like, holy shit, there's all these people. They look so cool and all. So Sonic gets a little get up and Sonic gets a little outfit together and goes into the bar and, you know, just wants to have fun with his life and all. And, you know, this is his last night on Earth and, you know, he's about to leave and it's this whole thing. And it's okay, but it's kind of dumb and really pointless. There's an entire pointless section of the movie where Sonic's line dancing, they get into a bar fight, Sonic beats the shit out of everyone because he can go super fast and then somehow like do things to like take him out, and he does a very Quicksilver moment where he kind of just sets everything up and then, you know, everyone falls over and Cop guy is totally fine, and, you know, he's like, okay, let's get out of here. Dr. Eggman finds out that they've been through there. He learns, I guess, of where they're going or some shit like that. Oh, also, he got a quill. Also, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Sonic's quills light up with lightning and energy and such like that. Again, doesn't really make any sense, whatever. On their travels, they get attacked by Eggman, or Robotnik. He's still Robotnik. He's never really called Eggman until a certain part of the movie, and I'll explain why in a hot second. Robotnik is attacking them in a tank that Sonic destroys by jumping out of the back of the truck and then, you know, speedballing. I don't think that's the right word to say, but I don't care. Over to the tank and blowing up the side of it. The cop guy's like, oh my god, so he turns his truck around and goes and drives over to him, and it's so funny because he's about 30 yards away from Sonic, who he doesn't know is alive or not, but he just kind of like, he doesn't stop and get out of the car and go help see if he's okay. He just like pulls over to the side and says, Sonic, are you okay? And it's such a funny moment to think, okay, so you're taking the space hedgehog all the way from Montana to California, and all you want to do after you saw him just yeet himself into a tank, go, hey, are you okay? So they're on the highway and they start running away. Turns out big tank has smaller tank or medium-sized tank that goes after them. He takes out the medium tank. I forgot how he takes out the medium tank. There's kind of a cool chase action sequence where the tank's like shooting all these discs that would like deactivate cars or some shit, or deactivate electronics, and Sonic gets back on them and throws slides on them and throws them at him and knocks a machine out, and then a smaller one comes out. Okay, that's kind of funny and cute, and it starts chasing them again. Then for some stupid reason, cop guy is like, okay, Sonic, you've been doing good, let me handle it. My dude, what? You're speeding down the highway, like what the hell are you gonna do? Oh yeah, he fucking grabs like a crowbar in the back of his truck, hangs out the truck, and starts swinging at the robot coming after him. It's like, excuse me, my dude, you cannot run as fast as Sonic. If you follow that truck, you're dead. So again, such a stupid moment in the movie, and I'm thinking, what? Why are you doing this? Just have Sonic do it again. And so eventually, you know, with the power of teamwork and shit, they take it out because, you know, Sonic's driving. He's learning how to drive. He's swerving the car, shit, but takes out the little robot. Cool, awesome. Then that one had an even smaller robot. Yeah, they keep getting smaller. And that one is the one. That one like kind of like flies up to them and starts shooting like a little laser all over the top of the cabin of the truck that like rips off the top cabin of the truck, so it's just open. And Sonic's like, oh, this is dumb, and he rips it off, and it's sticking to his hand. He's like, oh no, it's stuck to my hand. What do we do? And then he pulls off to the side of the road, and he's like, I gotta get it off. They're going back and forth trying to get it off. You hear it beeping, it's gonna explode. Finally, they get it off, and Sonic's like, hell yeah, we did it. And then big explosion. Sonic gets knocked out, and cop guy's like, oh no, Sonic. And he also got knocked out, but he's like, oh no, Sonic. But instead, this time, he gets up and picks him up, and he's like, I hope you're doing okay. Oh, come on. So then he gets back in the truck, gets to San Francisco, and he has a place to go. Okay, so this was a moment I forgot happened in the movie. Earlier in the movie, his wife said she was going to go visit her sister for a few days so she can help her look for apartments to live in when they move to San Francisco. So he has a place to go. He never mentions this, and it's something, again, that's very briefly, you know, thought of or even said. It's jarring when it happens. And I've been sticking strongly to Sonic and cop guy this whole time, but at the same time, Robotnik is kind of just showing his nefarious ways of trying to be a super mad genius. It was really more of an excuse just to have more screen time of Jim Carrey. Genuinely one of the best characters in the entire movie because he's just being fun. He's being crazy. There's a there's a moment in the movie where he's just being a mad creature, or just a creature. That's the best way to explain him. He's just being like crazy and everything, and he's just being a dick to his assistant and telling him, he's like, listen, who's the smartest here? He's like, you are. He's like, good, hope you remember that. And I remember saying under my breath, I was like, oh yeah, his assistant's definitely the bottom. Cut to another scene in the movie where they're trying, the assistant's like, damn, they got away, and then Robotnik's like, pin yourself against the wall. And so his assistant goes and like grabs and pushes himself against the wall, and Jim Carrey just goes up real close to him. He's like, don't you ever, he's like going at him and about it. It's just such a funny moment in the movie. I forgot what he said, but it was so funny I couldn't stop laughing. Oh god, that's really all the scenes that are really of to note. He also, the quill that Eggman took when he's at his lab, he tests it, and during like him like scanning it and such, he's doing like his just mad lad crazy shit, dancing around, just being genuinely just funny and interest and just funny. A funny and kind of interesting character moment, I guess, where it just shows that he's kind of a weirdo, but in a fun way. Also, he's insane. So we never really understand why he wants Sonic's power? Question mark? Because all throughout the movie, we never really see him complain about never having enough power to catch Sonic. Power as in like battery power to catch Sonic. Like his robots are run off such powerful energy that they can't. They're trying to catch Sonic, but they can't because they're just not fast enough. If he had something that was just a little bit more faster, he could catch him. So then Sonic's quill is kind of like the answer to that. It's the power battery that will never stop running because it produces unlimited energy. Now we're getting close to the end of the movie, don't worry. So now we have Cop Guy and Cop Guy's wife. He meets up with his wife's sister, which when he gets into when he makes it into the house, he also has Sonic like wrapped up because it doesn't want to show that it's Sonic. Side note, I forgot to mention this earlier. He's been labeled a terrorist because he's aiding and abetting, a fugitive of the United States, quote unquote. It's on the news. That's the thing. It is on the news, but it was just weird because no one ever stops. Because remember, his truck doesn't have a top to it, so everyone can see him when he's driving through San Francisco, and no one calls the police on him. Bullshit. He gets to his wife's sister's house, and she's freaking out. She's totally upset. So then Cop Guy reveals, oh hey, this is Sonic. Can you work on him, wife who's a veterinarian? She's like, I mean, I guess so. Why? I mean, why do you think I can? It's like, because he's a hedgehog. It's like, okay, well, he doesn't feel or look like a hedgehog. It's like, ooh, give him some bath salts. I think they're called smelling salts to wake him up. God, give him bath salts. So then so then she puts the bath salts under Sonic, and he wakes him. He's like, gotta go fast. And he speeds around the room knocking shit over. It's just so stupid. Oh man. And again, the wife is totally fine, totally cool, and then they have to walk out of the room for a hot second, and the wife's like, listen, honey, Cop Guy, you realize how I haven't freaked out at all when you brought in a blue thing like that? Also, he just bounced around there and somehow was alive. What the hell's going on? And it just wants to know everything, so he dumps all the information on her about, that he needs to go here, and the reason why he's doing this is because, this is the life he can save and whatnot. He never questions himself and says, well, yeah, if I can save this little blue hedgehog thing, but I'm gonna be a fugitive for life, and my entire life is basically ruined. Then they, come up with a plan to take him up to the building that the rings are stuck on. They come up to the building, and for some very stupid reason, They have him drive there in the sister's car. Why? They're in a highly populated city. Anyone can see him, and they all know that the cop guy is a wanted criminal. Why the hell did they do that? Why the actual shit did they do that? And it was supposed to be funny. He's like, oh, why do we have the blue guy drive us here? He's like, hey, no one died. And it's like, shut up, it's stupid. So then they're all out in the open looking at this building that they need to get on top of. And Sonic's like, let me see if I can get there. Runs up. He's like, nope, can't make it up there. And I'm like, what? Run up the walls. You're fast enough. What the hell? Again, they just build all these, they put all these barriers in front of Sonic. That just is so stupid. Now, cop guy and veterinarian lady are going to the top of the building. They get into the main lobby and say, oh man, we got a jumper here. I need to help you guys because, he could get hurt. And the front desk lady is just like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I'm a cop. And he shows his badge and she's like, you came from Montana? He's like, yeah, it's super important. And so, again, the front desk lady apparently never saw that he is a wanted criminal and he's not wanted, whatever. Again, there's so many different steps that the movie takes and so many technicalities that the movie puts in that just is so lame. Then we get the scene where Sonic's in the bag. You hear him talking. He's like, shut up, stop talking. And then people are like, is that your kid in there? He's like, oh no, it's not my kid. But yes, there's a kid in there. And someone's like, people are like, oh, it's not your kid? What? And so it's supposed to be a haha funny moment. They make it up to the top of the building. Okay, so movie's about to be over, right? Apparently Sonic and Copman are now friends. We really didn't see too much of that there, but okay, fine, whatever. And so Sonic gets ready to throw his ring, but then Dr. Robotnik shows up with all his drones that look like eggs. And we're almost full circle, don't worry. He gets ready to shoot them. The two say, oh wow, how are we gonna get out of this? Sonic's like, I have an idea. And you see him run behind them really quickly and push them off the ledge of the building. And Robotnik's like, well, I didn't expect that. Also, at this point, he does have his iconic red outfit, and people are making fun of him, and it's like, it's a red jumpsuit, it's cool, or whatever shit. And he's like, well, didn't expect that. And Sonic goes super speed, but because Eggman has one of his quills, he goes to press the button, but it happens in slow motion because he didn't press it fast enough. And so Sonic's like destroying all the little robots and drones, throwing all the bullets into them and all the rockets and such and blowing them up. Cool, okay, nice. Really, again, another Quicksilver moment. Okay, that's fun. And then Eggman all of a sudden now is fast enough to catch because he slowly presses the button. As soon as he presses that button, he gets super fast. He can catch him. He goes chasing after him. And Sonic saves the cop man and lady veterinarian by running down the building fast enough to throw a ring that opens up and sends him back to Green Hill Zone. Then it circles back to the opening of the film where Sonic's running around being chased by Eggman while Eggman's blowing a whole bunch of shit up. And then he's like, yep, and that's the story of how we got here. Wanna know how it ends? So do I. And then we continue on through the movie where Eggman's chasing him through all these different locations. Paris, they run to Paris, they run to China, they run to Egypt, and then, it's cool. It was fun. It's a really cool scene where they're running around really fast and just trying to run. Sonic's trying to run away from him, but Eggman's too fast, and then they end up back in Green Hill Zone. As he's running to the hole or to the portal, to the ring portal, Eggman shoots at him and he gets knocked down. He falls into the portal, but then is really weak back in Green Hills on Main Street. So now it's nighttime. They get to the main street as the big final battle is about to happen, and people are there to protect Sonic and say he's part of our town. We're here for him and whatnot. Okay, fine. That's kind of cute and all, but it's just just gives me a headache thinking about it. So then we get Sonic and as Sonic and Eggman are having a standoff, also when Sonic got thrown through the portal, he lost a whole bunch of the rings, and so Cop Guy gets one of the rings and he throws one right behind, or a handful of the rings. He throws one right behind Eggman, and or he pops up right behind Eggman. Robotnik, still Robotnik, not Eggman yet, and he jumps down and gives him a good punch. Side note, Again, I forgot to mention this. Earlier on in the movie, when Robotnik is like threatening Cop Guy, and Sonic comes out of nowhere and says, "Hey, don't shoot him, da da da." He's like, "Oh my god!" And Cop Guy just gives him a straight up punch on the jaw and knocks him out. So he does it. So fast forward to the part of the movie where he throws a ring portal. It shows up behind Robotnik. He jumps down and gives him a good punch again. They start punching each other. How did Robotnik not see that? It was right behind him. And on top of that, we've seen before that it gives off a bright light. So how in the actual shit did he not see that? So anyways, they start fighting and all, and Sonic's like, "All these people, they're my friends," and then he just starts like charging his energy, and he sucks the energy out of that one quill that Eggman had, so now he's no longer fast enough, and then Eggman starts shooting lasers and shit at him, and Sonic's like taking them all out and making sure they don't hit anyone, and then he just goes like fucking ape shit and starts like bouncing off all the different things and hitting Robotnik's mech. Cop Guy gets another ring, and Sonic's like, "Let's send him like to Mushroom Land," and so he just like yeets a ring into the Mushroom Land. And Robotnik's like, "Oh hell no," and he charges at Sonic. Sonic does like a little ball jump homing attack. There we go. Let's just say it was a homing attack. Destroys the mech and launches it rocketing through the portal. Portal closes. Robotnik's defeated. Sonic wants to stay in this world with his friends, and now the entire town knows he's a real thing. And yeah, the movie kind of just ends on a high note that Sonic now has friends. Cop Guy and Yoga Lady, they kind of adopt Sonic as their son. It's kind of weird, but kind of cute. So Sonic had like a cave that he had a little like, literal cave that he put all his like stuff that he's like stolen, but kind of has in his like own little man cave-esque little place. They put it up in their attic, and that's kind of where he just, gets to stay now. And it was cute. It was genuinely a cute little moment in the movie where they're like, "Don't worry, you're with us now. We love you as like family." So after putting definitely way too much time into this movie, I still kind of like it. It's a cute movie, and we got to see Sonic in the real world try to figure out his hijinks and all. And it wasn't terrible, and it served as sort of an origin story for Eggman. And definitely we can all agree that Jim Carrey carried this movie so hard. At the end of the day, Ben Schwartz, the voice of Sonic, did an amazing job. Yes, the script was pretty poor and definitely paled in comparison to Jim Carrey's ad-libbing, but and saying all this, I really don't know what could have made it better. I mean, I guess the way to say that, this movie could have been better is if it was fully animated and took place in, like, the Sonic world. At the end of the day, it wasn't a garbage movie. And yes, it can be considered a cash grab. And yes, we could probably expect a sequel considering how they baited us at the end of the movie and gave us a cool, cute thing to see. I didn't want to like this movie, but I ended up just thinking it was cute enough to watch. So, honestly, that's my opinion about the Sonic movie. Whether you agree with me or not, totally fine. And hey, if you guys love this movie or hate it, that's completely fine. I just kind of find myself in the middle. Well, anyways, I've been Maytrade. Hope you enjoyed this very weird rant I decided to pull off for way too long. And, yeah, hope you have a good one. See ya.